Today I've been checking out the brand new Call of Duty Black Ops 6 campaign. This is not a review of multiplayer or zombies. I know I'm probably in the majority here, but I usually quite like blasting through the campaigns of Call of Duty. I mean, some have been excellent and some, well, not so good, but they're usually pretty decent, and there is a distinct lack of single player FPS games out there. I'm not a massive multiplayer fan. Warzone is fun with friends, and zombies, well, it hasn't been decent for a while. First up, I would normally do gameplay, but it's Call of Duty, you know what to expect. It'll never do anything too different. In this one, the story revolves around a paramilitary type group with links to the CIA. Your little team are basically on their own to take down the organisation and stop a mysterious biological weapon from being unleashed. As it's Black Ops, you can expect twists, turns, and missions that are on a more small, covert style. But it's still Call of Duty. There's plenty of big explosions and set pieces, but I must say this one seemed to tone them down a little bit and felt a bit more grounded in parts. Now, moving on to the campaign itself, it's a massive mixed bag. It goes from decent to awful. I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like Activision asked two teams to make the campaign, forgot, then they just smashed it all together and went, well, that will do. The quality and mission types are all over the place. Let's start off with the good. When it's being covert, you have some good levels. There's one where you have to infiltrate a political rally for Bill Clinton. You have to pose as a photographer and free a captured spy from a secret underground base. It feels really open-ended. You're given different options and different paths, and it's quite fun. Then there's a casino level, which is like out of something from James Bond. You have to work as a team and complete the objectives, causing distractions, and even playing a game of cards. There's another one where you have to destroy 3 targets at a snowy base, and you have different routes to do it. So you can like talk to different people, or you can blow stuff up, or you can try and sweet talk someone to do the work for you. Then of course there's your typical killing hundreds of men, blowing stuff up type missions that are always a blast to play. Unfortunately, with most Call of Duty missions, I just wish they would give you a bit more control at times. Like the game of cards could have been so much fun, but it's over pretty quickly and you don't really play. And then we're going to come to the other types of missions, and these are generally pretty shit. And I feel like some of them are just here to sell the multiplayer and are being shoehorned into the campaign. The first one isn't terrible, but it doesn't fit in with the game at all. It's an open world Iraq mission where you have a team of 4 and you have to drive around the map, visiting various locations, unlocking supply crates, blowing up SAM sites, and you can unlock various gadgets as you go, like airstrikes. The main objective is to take out the Scud launchers. It's basically single player Warzone. I was very surprised afterwards I didn't go, hey, did you know we have a mode called Warzone? Go and play that. It just didn't fit into this game at all. Then there was one of the worst levels I have played in a Call of Duty game for years. IGN's review would have you think it was a second coming of Christ. It's there to promote COD Zombies. It starts off well with you infiltrating a secret lab and you get poisoned. Then you just end up in a basic zombie style map minus the unlock areas. And you have to gather 4 director passes to unlock a door. Each pass is attached to a zombie boss. You must kill the zombies and the bosses to get to the pass. However, they were boring. They were buggy. There was like weird pathfinding. You get a grappling hook. Like, why? It went on for so long and it was super dull. I hated it. And I know people will say, well, you're poisoned, it's all a dream or whatever. I know, but they could have done something way more fun with it. It just didn't work for me. Then there was like this brain hack sequence that was just, it was awful. You're this little girl and you have to do stupid, boring puzzles to collect shards of glass. Like the second one was back in the zombie room and turn on 4 generators. Why? Honestly, awful yet again. Such poor design. This one was just a pure runtime padder. Every time I was enjoying this game, it would throw one of these missions at me and just ruin every aspect of fun I was having. Outside of the missions, you have like a hub base area. It's a bit like Croft Manor, which is basically the mission picker and upgrade area. There's hidden things to find around the mansion using the blacklight. There's like little puzzles to solve. It's where your team relax and you can unlock new areas and perks. This is all done via money, which you find lying around the game world. I wonder what that's trying to groom you for. Warzone yet again? All the perks are recycled from online mode, fast hands, carry 2 armor plates, more mags, etc. No thought was put in the perks at all. It wasn't the most interesting place in the world, but it was nice to have downtime from the other modes. I just wish it was a bit more fun and a little bit more engaging. Obviously, with being covert, there are a lot of stealth tactics in this game, but unfortunately, the AI is just not good enough. The enemy is just a bit too brain dead. Half the time you can stand behind them with a big gun and shoot someone in front of someone else and just like, what was that? Your teammates all have plot armor and they are terrible shots. They may as well just not be there. It constantly feels like you're just against everyone. I know this has been a bit of an issue with Call of Duty for a while, and I don't know if I've just picked on it more because I've been playing more FPS games with better AI lately, but it was starting to annoy me a little bit. However, I will say on the whole, combat is pretty decent, it's punchy, and I just love using the sniper rifles. I know they're not realistic at all, but they are so much fun to use. There's no complaints really with the combat at all. It felt tight as always. Graphics wise, on my 3080 Intel i9 12th gen, it ran with no issues at all. COD has always looked good for a while. The engine is starting to show its age a little bit. They really know how to play with lighting and effects. I did notice some of the cutscenes and animations were a little bit stiff. There was clipping going on. Like there was one bit where I seen where he was pushing a folder across the desk and it clipped through the cups on the desk. There was glitches as well. Some of the fire effects, like you look forward on, they look good. Walk around the side and you see they're not even attached to the object. It's just fire floating in the air. Sound design and voice acting is great though. Gun effects are boomy and punchy, and there's lots of good music, so there's no issues there. So in conclusion, when it's doing what it should be, which is a covert ops game, it's not bad, and I would have said it's probably a solid 6 or 7 out of 10. It's got decent story, gunplay, and graphics. COD is never going to blow you away, but it's usually pretty decent. However, with that terrible zombie mission, the brain hack one I hated, and the out of place Warzone mission, it just brings it down quite a bit with the bugs and the not so great AI. It probably makes it just below average for me. You know, if you have Game Pass, it's obviously worth giving a shot because it's a free download. Anyway, that's all I've got to say on this one. Catch you all later. Goodbye.